Zach Cregger, welcome to FrightFest, sir.
Thank you for having me.
Amazing. Your film is Barbarian.
Barbarian.
And it's going to be screening at FrightFest tomorrow evening.
Yes.
Just over the road at the enormous Cineworld Empire, Leicester Square.
Yeah, I'm excited.
On the IMAX
I
screen.
can't believe I've never seen it on an IMAX. This will be a treat. Yeah.
You haven't even actually properly been into the cinema yet, so I'm going to take you there in a minute.
Okay, good.
And your mind, I think, will be blown.
I'm excited.
And the FrightFest audience are so, and the general audience are so excited to see your picture, because at the moment everything's been kept under wraps, isn't it? Or most of the elements of it have been kept under wraps. What can you tell us about the film?
It's a hard film to advertise and promote because there's just a lot of twists and turns, and the movie that you see in the trailer is just really the tip of the iceberg.
The trailer is fantastic.
Thank you very much. Yeah. So the trailer is trying to just give us enough to to pique our interest, but really the experience that you would have in the theater is very different than the experience that the trailer promises. And that's not to say it's a shortchanging or it's like tonally off or anything like that. I mean, it's a good representation of the tone of the movie, but it really doesn't come close to telling you what the experience of the movie is. If that sounds confusing or cryptic, I apologize. It
will all make sense once the folks see the film.
It's hard to talk about it without getting into heavy spoiler territory very, very quickly.
Yeah, we're treading very dangerous, thin ice.
Yeah,
thin ice.
Yeah.
Great cast. We can talk about the cast.
Sure.
Can't we? So.
Yeah, so we start off with Georgina Campbell and Bill Skarsgard, who are just two phenomenal actors. They're both so great. Bill is like perfect in this. He was kind of like my dream cast because he's simultaneously repulsive and attractive, which is really what that character demands. And Georgina is just like, I mean, she's so brilliant. It's unfair that a first-time filmmaker gets to use her. She's she's so good. She should have just skipped right past me. But I'm so glad she didn't. And then we have Justin Long, who's hilarious and vile. And brilliant. I do think he's brilliant in this movie. And I think FrightFest people will be excited to see Richard Brake.
Absolutely,
he makes an appearance in this movie. It's so funny. I was watching The Kingsman last night for the first time, and there he is. He always pops up in the craziest things.
A lot of Rob Zombie stuff. He's in a lot of Rob, isn't he?
Sure, yeah.
Brilliant. Tell us about a few of the influences on Barbarian. Again, without going to spoil, because it's difficult to kind of.
Yeah. I think probably the spiritual ancestor of this movie is probably Audition, the 1999 Takashi Miike,
which we screened at FrightFest.
Oh, you did?
We had the premiere years ago before it was even known.
I think it's a genius movie.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
Yeah, and what I really responded to in that is, first of all, the movie that you think you're watching is not the movie that you're watching. And it drops the hammer in a really big way in the middle of the movie. And I was really taken by that. Also, it's a movie that deals with sexual malpractice, sexual misbehavior in a very, very sophisticated, very delicate way. And I thought that it was a really intelligent movie masquerading as just kind of a base genre movie. And I thought that was so inspiring. Like Get Out kind of does it in a much more sort of obvious way, and not to knock Get Out. I think it's genius. I think it's a masterpiece. But just an idea of a really thoughtful meditation on something that is delivered to the audience through genre and through fun. Like Get Out is scary and funny and a blast. And I hope that that's what Barbarian is to people. I hope it's scary and funny first and foremost. I don't care if people walk out of this movie having received some sort of message. That's not my intention. This isn't a movie with an agenda, anything beyond a roller coaster ride. But I do think that there is, if you're inclined, there's other conversations to have about it. And so that's what Audition and Get Out, I think.
Wow, perfect, I think. FrightFest is going to be we're going to be luckily one of the very first audiences in the world to experience the picture.
Yeah.
You have screened it elsewhere. You did Comic-Con, didn't you?
We did Comic-Con.
A surprise secret screening there.
Yeah.
How was the reaction?
It was big. Yeah, I don't want to get too deep into it, but
okay.
But it was vocal. It was very vocal. There was a lot of screaming. There's a lot of laughing.
Were people aware they were going into a horror picture?
I think they knew they were going into a horror picture because the trailer had dropped. But that's the thing. The trailer can't really represent what the movie is. So I think people thought they were going to see a different movie than they saw, and they were surprised.
Wow. Okay. And tell us about distribution. When can folks actually, apart from FrightFest tomorrow night, which obviously this is going to be going out post that, tell us about the release pattern for the film.
So in North and South America, it's going to be a wide theatrical release on September 9th. So it'll probably be playing in a theater near you. I know in the UK, it's going to be released on Disney Plus. I don't know the date. I don't know if it's going to be September 9th. There was a discussion of possibly a limited theatrical here in the UK, but I don't know if that's been resolved or not. But I do know it will be coming to Disney Plus shortly.
It's such a theatrical picture. I mean, it's such a big film.
Yeah.
It's going to be an incredible screening. Are you excited about the FrightFest screening tomorrow night?
Well,
as we speak, it's tomorrow night.
I'm very excited about the FrightFest screening, primarily because I listened to this podcast right here.
The evolution.
In fact, as I was shooting Barbarian, as I was in Bulgaria, like in the throes of production, I would listen to that podcast, and Mike was always talking about FrightFest, and I was like, and I remember thinking, I was like, I hope this movie is good enough to get accepted into FrightFest one day. Like that would be such a dream come true. I can't believe I'm sitting here with you. I'd like to meet Mike and say hi. Yeah, please introduce me to him. Actually, I think I tweeted at him and he didn't get back to me. So let's see what we can do. But no, it's been on my radar ever since I began this journey, and so to actually be here and have it screening in this festival feels like a huge dream come true.
Thank you for that, and it is an absolute honour and a pleasure for us to have both you and this incredible film.
Thank you.
Tomorrow night. I mean, I'm literally so excited to be showing it to the audience and letting it out there, letting this great beast out.
Yeah, me too.
And then we can kind of speak about it properly once people kind of know what's happening.
Yeah, spoilerific.
But no, seriously, Zach, welcome to FrightFest. It's going to be incredible.
Thank you so much for having me. All right.